So belly fat is one of the hardest areas to shift. And it's not just about vanity. It's linked to higher risk of diabetes, heart disease, inflammation. But here's the thing, not all carbs are created equal. Some carbs hit your waistline harder than others. And today I'll share the worst offenders for belly fat, why they're so damaging, and what to eat instead. The number one worst carb for belly fat isn't bread or pasta, it's sugary drinks, soft drinks, energy drinks, even fruit juices, or basically liquid sugar, or as I tend to call them, liquid sugar bombs. Your body absorbs them quickly, your blood sugar spikes, insulin surges, and because liquids don't fill you up the way solid food does, you end up consuming extra calories on top of that. For example, one can of cola has about 35 grams of sugar, which is 9 teaspoons. Imagine spooning that into a glass and drinking it. Fruit juice isn't much better. A small glass of orange juice has the same sugar as a can of cola, and without the fibre from the fruit. If you're serious about belly fat, this is the first thing to cut. Next on the list is white bread, wraps, bagels, refined grains. When the fibre and nutrients are stripped out, your body digests them almost as quickly as pure sugar. Blood sugar rises, insulin follows, and fat storage gets switched on. The problem with that? You don't feel satisfied for long, so if you reach for another slice or snack soon after. And even so-called healthy wholemeal breads can be misleading. Some are still highly processed and can cause sharp spikes. A safer bet, genuine whole grain bread in moderation, or low-carb bread alternatives we talked about in the last video. There are some options in my recipe playlist you could try as well. I'm adding to that recipe list all the time too. Just click the link above. Then there's pastries, biscuits, cakes. These are the triple threat: refined carbs, plus sugar, plus unhealthy fats. And they're designed to be hyper palatable, meaning your brain lights up with pleasure and you crave more of them. And that's why it's almost impossible to eat just one biscuit. On a biological level, your body stores the extra energy from these foods as fat, and much of it tends to collect around the waistline. Another big offender is fried carbs, chips, crisps, donuts. Not only are these high in carbs, but they're cooked in cheap seed oils, which drive inflammation. And that double hit, insulin spike plus inflammation, is a recipe for belly fat and metabolic issues. Large portion of chips can have over 60 grams of carbs, which is more than some people eat an entire day on keto. Healthier swap, try roasted vegetables with olive oil, or even air fryer veggie crisps. You get the crunch without the belly fat baggage. And before moving into ketogenic diet, these were my weaknesses, food groups. But now all I think about is how can I make that into a keto alternative. So let's talk pasta and noodles. Standard bowl of white pasta contains around about 80 grams of carbs. It's already over the daily limit for keto on its own. Pasta digests rapidly into glucose, combine it with creamy sauces or cheese, becomes a calorie bomb. And I'm not saying you can never eat pasta again, but if belly fat is your focus, swap it sometimes for courgette noodles, spaghetti squash, or the low carb noodle equivalents. You still get the texture in the sauce without the carb overload. Breakfast cereals are another hidden belly fat trap, and they're gaining traction for being so in the media and with nutritionists. Many of us might have grown up on things like cornflakes, Rice Krispies, granola, but most cereals are basically processed grains coated in sugar. So-called healthy granola can pack 20 to 30 grams of net carbs in a small bowl. And let's be honest, who's just eats the serving size? If you want a low carb start to your day, go for eggs. Greek yogurt or even a smoothie with spinach, berries. They'll keep you full for longer and keep your insulin low. And this one might surprise you, low-fat snack foods, yogurt pots, cereal bars, low-fat puddings. When manufacturers remove the fat, they usually add sugar or starch to make the product taste good. And that means you're eating something marketed as healthy, but if your blood sugar and waistline won't agree. And always read the labels. If you see more than 8 to 10 grams of sugar per serving, it's basically dessert in disguise, and that's around about the daily sugar intake limit on something like a ketogenic diet. Often called liquid bread for a reason. Pint can contain 15 to 20 grams of carbs, and most people don't stop at one. Sugary cocktails, even worse. Beyond the carbs, alcohol lowers inhibitions, makes you crave salty, fatty snacks, think crisps, kebabs, or pizza after a night out. If you do drink, stick to things like spirits with soda water or alcohol-free nights if you want to give your metabolism a break. So why do these carbs hit belly fat specifically? The repeated cycle of high blood sugar, high insulin levels leads to insulin resistance. When your cells stop responding properly, your body shuttles more and more energy into fat storage, particularly visceral fat around your organs. And that's why even slim people can develop belly fat if the carb intake is full of these nasties. The good news, you don't have to cut out every carb to see a difference. Start with some of the worst offenders: sugary drinks, white bread, processed snacks. Most people see belly fat reduced just by making these swaps, even before dropping carbs lower. And progress builds on progress, doesn't it? So those are the worst carbs for belly fat: sugary drinks, refined bread, cakes, fried carbs, cereals. Cut those first and you'll see real changes around your waist. And in the next video, I'll explain what happens after a few weeks of cutting carbs altogether. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and tell me in the comments which of these carbs would be hardest for you to give up. So again, just a reminder on this health reset that I'm on, I'm following ketogenic diet, intermittent fasting and exercise. Done 8,000 steps of walking, done some 5 minutes rebounding on an indoor trampoline, and also managed some more yoga. So done about 10 minutes of yoga as soon as I got up. Following 2 meals and 2 snacks a day. I done a 20-hour fast in the last 24 hours, which means that at my time window, I've got time for the 2 meals and 2 snacks. Meal 1 was boiled eggs with smoked salmon and salad leaves and a little bit of goat's cheese in with that. And then the second meal, turkey, but not meat turkey, the vegetarian equivalent. Some broccoli, florets, and some cauliflower rice. And then I also had snacks. My first snack, keto mug cake, Greek yogurt with raspberries. And I came in at 1200 calories. My net carbs for the day were 18 grams, which I'm definitely happy about. Energy levels fine, sleeping well, everything feeling nice and balanced. Thanks for watching. See you next time.